Brought to you by Penguin.
Instinct by James Patterson. Read by Edoardo Ballerini.
For Barbara and Will Cravens, H.R. Prologue. The Dealer Manifesto. Entry number 1. So you want to be a serial killer? Sure, you can go around just shooting people, bang bang. But I found that guns, while sometimes the right tool for the job, often leave me unsatisfied. There's a lack of intimacy involved when all you have to do is pull a trigger. You hear the blast and see the carnage, the way your victim's flesh ruptures and bursts open in an instant. But you don't really feel the same adrenaline as with other, let's say more personal, methods of murdering someone. Me? I like to mix things up. There's so many wonderful and creative ways to kill people. And I really feel as if I owe it to myself and my cause to make sure that I branch out and keep it interesting. And even when circumstances do call for a gun, I try to add a twist to it. A little something extra. Sundays always look better with a cherry on top. Still, you'd be amazed at how much satisfaction can be derived from some of the most rudimentary approaches. Stabbing someone to death, for instance. I can't think of a more personal and intimate experience. The sound that a knife makes when piercing human skin is nothing short of intoxicating. You can't help yourself sometimes. You want to hear it over and over and over. Of course, repeatedly stabbing someone to death isn't without a downside or two. For instance, it tends to be messy. That's why I like to wear clothes that I can simply throw away afterward. No muss, no fuss. If you want to be a real stickler for hiding evidence, though, burning the clothes would be even better. But if you're on a budget, or partial to a particular outfit, you know, a certain shirt or comfortable pair of pants that you enjoy killing in more than others, remember that you want to treat the bloodstains as soon as possible with a strong pre-wash stain remover and let it soak in for a good hour or so before throwing the clothes in the Maytag. Also, I highly recommend an extra rinse cycle. Another downside, or at least a potential one, is that stabbing a person to death requires a tad more preparation. It takes a little longer than simply aiming a gun, and it also puts a premium on the element of surprise. Even then, the first couple of stabs don't always do the trick. Be prepared for some resistance, depending on the size and stubbornness of your victim. Not all folks, however, will put up a fight. We assume that people have a tremendous will to live, but it's amazing how quickly some of them will resign themselves to their fate, especially when it comes to dying in a massive pool of their own blood. That about covers it for my first entry. If you have any questions, I'm afraid you're on your own. It's not like I have an 800 number or an email address I can give out. For obvious reasons, too, I can't tell you my real name. But lately, people have taken to calling me the Dealer, which I happen to like, so I've taken to it as well. There's a nice ring to it. The Dealer. Clean, authoritative, quite proprietary, too, given my methods. I'd trademark it if I could. I mean, the best serial killers, the ones whom people tend to remember, always manage to have a good moniker, the kind of nickname that seems to suit them perfectly. Otherwise, what's the point? The shrinks will tell you that guys like me are first and foremost narcissists. But if that means taking pride in your craft and planning each and every murder with meticulous care, then I suppose there are worse things to be called. Honestly, I'm just giving you all what you want. A little razzle-dazzle, an escape from your dreary lives. What else are you going to talk about while sipping your $4 coffees and acting superior to the rest of the world? You want me. You need me. And in time, you'll all discover that I'm doing you nothing less than a huge favor. Trust me. Now, if you don't mind, there's someone else I really need to kill. Book 1. Shuffle up and...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?